we will learn how to create a pot chart. As we can see that Tom has 50% achieved his sales target, where Dick has achieved 60%, Harry 70 and 80. Accordingly, the line gets filled up in the pot. Okay, so how to build such chart? Before we do that, let's first understand how a circle equation would typically work. X square plus y square equal to r square. That's a typical Cartesian form of a circle equation, where x equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. Now, if we have a data of such where we have angle varying from 0 to 360 degree, and we have x equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, it would perfectly fit. So let's import this data into Tableau. I'll just dragging and dropping this data into Tableau and taking circle over here and take x in row, y in column, and then what I will do, I'll uncheck this aggregate measure and changing it to line chart and put angle into path so that it create a perfect circle. If we need to fill that circle, we need to change it to polygon. So that's a perfect circle, right? Now let's assume I have a data set which is not a perfect circle but with a changing radius. As we can see, radius is continuously increasing. Okay, so that's changing radius. So what we'll do the same thing. We'll uncheck aggregate measures, we'll changing it to line and put angle into path. And if we take angle into level and make it, let's say, min max, we can see it starts from 0, it ends at 360. So that's the typical definition of a circle, but we are approaching towards what we are trying to build. Now let's assume we have only angles, we don't have anything else. How to build that? We have angle 1 to 360 degree. Okay, let's import the data and try that out. Now we have only angle. How do we do that? We'll create a calculated field called cos theta. So I am just doing a conversion of radian to degree. Similarly, I'll do a duplicate. I say it y and sine theta. So I'll take x in row, y in column, again make it, changing it to line and put angle into partial. So this will also give me a perfect circle. If you want full circle, then we can take it. Now in case I have a data which is a very discrete in nature, I have only two records, the first and the last, 1 and 360. How to create? We will import this thing data, and here we'll create a bin first, and we'll put bin size as 1. There's a very interesting feature in Tableau. If you drag it, it actually fills up. If we check show missing value, if I uncheck, then it won't, but if I check, so that would really help us building this chart. Now let's go back and create another field called index, because we require this, and let's make this index a discrete and create x, where into 3.14 divided by 180 as x, and this as y as sine. So now if we take x and y, we can actually create a circle, but this is without any other help. Okay, so we get a perfect circle. Now we are ready. We are equipped enough to understand the data. Now in real data, I have actually in actual data I have only 4 records: Tom, Dick, Harry and John, with the achievement percentage as 50, 60, 70, 80. I have duplicated that data with the previous one as it records multiplies. So I have now 8 records. Each employee I have 2 records. Okay, let's build the real data. So first we have to import the data set again. This is the real chart we are talking about. Let's do one thing. Since we have already created this, let's copy it and paste it and create an angle bin. Okay, now you see something, there is something called depth. Like the pot is filled with water, so depth of water is something interesting. So let's create a calculated field depth, and what I want is that depth to be variable between 0 to 180. So how do we do that? We uh, multiply it by 180. So I got the equation. Now let's put the same thing, make it line, make it path, and I'll compute using angle bin. So I got the perfect line, etc. Even if I want, I have 4 circles for 4 people. Now the big question, I have to create another x-axis which would vary. Okay, so how to do that? I have already an equation set it up. I'll explain you. That's called x prime. So this is nothing but the first part is index less than depth. So what is depth? If achievement is 50%, which is 0.5, then 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. 0.5 of 180 degree, which is 90 degree. So if it is 0 to 90 or 270 to 360, in that case it will have a nice circle, otherwise it will draw a straight line. That's what it told. And plus cos is nothing but slightly adding a wave on top of it. So how it will work, we show. If I put it x and compute using bin, and let's fill it up. Okay, and let's fill it up with color, and let's make it as a dual axis with synchronize axis so that I can take off all the headers. So, and let's sort it out, descending. Yeah, we are done. So that's a nice pot that we can see filled up with water with waves, and as achievement is kind of exceeding, so pot is getting filled up. So that's a brilliant way of representative, or another way of representative representation of data which otherwise does not have in Tableau. And I must I must give credit to Mr. Rajiv Pandey, who is kind of inspired me to do that. Thanks.